Wow. Welcome back. It's JW again. Here in the R.A.F.O.N. report. R.A.F.O.N. report, www.rafon.report.com. This is the R.A.F.O.N. report. We are dismantling the beast, one piece at a time. Again, you can find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and I'll let you know when this Patreon thing works out. Guess I'm going to reflect on some of the things that I've been reading today. And it's caused me that we're going to have to need another R.A.F.O.N. rant here. Something that is a topic that is... I don't even know how to describe it at times. It's just absolutely horrendous and barbaric and purely evil that it even still exists. And here you go. Planned Parenthood and abortion. Now, anybody my age or anywhere near it, maybe even older, maybe some of you youngins that can appreciate some good old television, you might recognize that picture there in the background. It's good old Rod Serling. And for people that don't remember, he hosted a TV series called The Twilight Zone. And if you were young enough when you watched this thing would give you this thing would give you the willies before you went to bed. I mean, it was spooky stuff and scary stuff and science fiction and space and monsters, bad things, evil things. And unfortunately, that brings us to tonight's focus again, which is Planned Parenthood and abortion. Now, this next picture I'm going to put up, I'm going to issue a warning for any of you that might be squeamish, don't really want to see blood. You're going to want to turn away. I'll let you know when you can turn around again. Excuse me. Look at that. That's horrendous. It's pure evil. This is an aborted baby, an aborted human baby. You can see the body, the torso. You can see the legs. You can see the arms. You can see the face. And if you look good enough right there in that top right corner of that silver dish, you can see its squashed brain. This is the result of abortion. The slaughter of innocent human life. And this next person I'm going to introduce you to didn't exactly invent the idea. It was been around for a long time, but she made a business out of it, and she made a business out of it for a lot of personal reasons, let alone any other nefarious reasons that I would go into in other broadcasts, but not necessarily tonight. And that's this woman right here. For you that turned away, you can turn around and look again. This is Margaret Sanger. She founded an institution. See, which one of these did I have it on? Well, Planned Parenthood Federation of America is a nonprofit organization that provides reproductive health care in the United States and globally, and it's tax-exempt corporation under the Internal Revenue Service Code 501c3. Isn't that nice? 501c3. Most people think of churches when you think of a 501c3. Not in this case. And a member of the Association of the International Planned Parenthood Federation. PPFA has its roots in Brooklyn, New York, where Margaret Sanger opened the first birth control center in the United States in 1916. She founded the American Birth Control League in 1921, which then changed its name to Planned Parenthood in 1942. Now let's keep in mind this is a woman who also wanted to exterminate the Negro races. Okay? Racist to the core. No doubt about that. But it wasn't just blacks, of course. It was any that we would call a minority race today. But it was also the physically handicapped and mentally handicapped, senior, disabled people, whatever the case may be. She was just pure evil. She was pure evil. And this institution today is unfortunately still thriving. But I think they might have just got a little chink in their armor. Now, for anybody who's been paying attention here the last few years with Planned Parenthood, the face most of you are probably familiar with is this woman right here, Cecil Richards. I'm not real sure when she stepped down, was replaced. I know there was somebody in between her leaving and this next person coming in. And this is the new CEO, as I understand it, for Planned Parenthood. This is Alexis McGill Johnson. Alexis McGill Johnson. And when I was doing some research on her, one of the things that really struck me as kind of odd and scary, excuse me, they say that Planned Parenthood makes up approximately 35% of all abortions in the United States. Now you look at this little part that I have highlighted here on the screen, and it says, Planned Parenthood provides vital health services to 2.4 million men and women each year throughout its more than 600 healthcare centers across the country. Did you catch that? Only 2.4 million out of a population of over 300 million people. However, within that less than 1% of the population of the United States, we find 35% of abortions. Now that statistic is pretty horrifying and abysmal on its own, but I find it interesting here that with such an institution that is performing up to 35% of all abortions, why are we told to go after this place as if it's the single largest contributor to this abortion mill business? And let me make my position on this very clear. I know there are things that are called tubal pregnancies. These are not viable, so they are exterminated. I don't really know what the proper terminology there is. But as far as I'm concerned, with the very, very rarest of possible, potential, probable exceptions, abortion's murder. Plain and simple, abortion is murder. It is the intentional killing of a human being. So, at least you know where I stand on that. But I mentioned something about them maybe getting a little chink in their armor, and that's because of this. The new Trump rule prompted Planned Parenthood to forego federal funds. Planned Parenthood on Tuesday said it will forego federal family planning funds rather than comply with the Trump administration new rules that prohibit the organization from referring women for abortions. Well, I can't tell you how broken up I am about this. Trying to find the exact and accurate figures is like running through a maze, and you've never been in it before. But I know it's somewhere over $500 million they receive in federal funding throughout all of these clinics across the country. Over $500 million. Now, Trump is making up some new rules, obviously, as mentioned here, and there's other things involved. But when we just look at this particular institution, Planned Parenthood, again, they've been in operation since 1916 when this woman, Margaret Sanger, opened up her first clinic. But this institution started getting its money with good old Richard Nixon. It's Title 10 Family Planning, officially known as Public Law 91-572, or Population Research. Sounds more like population control to me. Population research and voluntary family planning was enacted under President Richard Nixon in 1970 as part of the Public Health Service Act. Title X is the only federal grant program dedicated solely to providing individuals with comprehensive family planning and related preventative health services. Preventative. Title X is legally designed to prioritize the needs of low-income families or uninsured people, including those that are not eligible for Medicaid because, well, that takes care of a bunch of it on its own, who might not otherwise have access to these health care services. Excuse me if I chuckle. These services are provided to low-income and uninsured individuals at reduced or no cost. Its overall purpose is to promote positive birth outcomes. Pardon? Positive birth outcomes. Okay, I guess there's a way to spin that in there. I don't really know, but okay. And healthy families by allowing individuals to decide the number and spacing of their children. Designer parenting has finally arrived. Not ready for one? Go kill it. It makes me sick. And this woman that I had showed before, this woman right here, Miss Alexis McGill Johnson, she currently gets, I don't know exact figures, but I know it's well over $100,000 a month to manage this baby butchering mill. I also read another statistic that said they get, how in the world did it say it? Oh, half of Planned Parenthood's non-government service funding revenue comes from abortion. This institution, half of its expenses are paid through by selling abortion. I wonder how much they're making off of all those baby parts. But again, Trump coming through, at least in appearance again, so maybe if we're really, really lucky, this will be another big dent rather than simply a chink in the armor. Because, again, abortion is murder. Abortion is murder. And in case you didn't hear me again, abortion is murder. We should all be against this. Every decent human being that respects human life. We should all be behind this. Again, this is the R.A.F.O.N. report. It's another one of my rants. Getting a little more used to working with this new software, with the webcam and all. So, I'm going to look away because I've got another monitor over here. But I've got several ideas that are burning in my head. And this certainly will not be the last thing you'll ever hear from me on Planned Parenthood or abortion. But I think you get a little bit more information maybe than what most people are giving out on this now. So, as much as you can, wherever you can, in whatever way you can, get involved. Get involved, wake people up and let them know this is simply butchery. Again, I thank you. I thank you for stopping by. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and leave me some comments down there below the video. Thanks a lot. God bless you and God bless America. We'll see you next time.